Morning. I'm here in East Tennessee. Been on the road for a couple of months, really almost just a week shy of 3 months. Got to travel all over the 48 lower states, people on Maui, people in Hawaii, aka the mainland. When we travel, we have a Roku television. Gives us TV shows, network news, local news when we travel. We have an antenna in the truck. We scan it every time we stop and post up for the night. That lets us pick up the local stations. We start right away by, if you don't know, this is a sad day, man. It was a real sad day. So I had to make this video, not for you, but for me. Network news are the big news stations that broadcast all over the place. A lot of them lean left, a lot of them lean right. It doesn't matter. What's interesting is when you stop in a town or a city and you scan your television, you get the local news. People in Hawaii, people in Pittsburgh, y'all got local news and you got network news. A lot of people are listening to network news. A lot of people don't get to hear the local news. This pandemic has affected everybody. I'm going to say some shit that somebody's not going to like. Unfriend me, unfollow me, do whatever you want. Wow. This started this morning when I turned the TV on. I found out down in Mississippi there's a pastor that is filing suit against their local township to open the church. Well, last night somebody burned the church down and painted on the side of it, "Bet you'll stay at home now." Death is bad. You're going to hear me say some stuff that makes it sound like I don't care about death, I don't care about numbers, because it hasn't happened to me. I understand that. I respect you for that. Give you a background. I was an addictions counselor in the state of Colorado for 11 years, 10 years, somewhere in there. I got to see some of the worst effects of addiction, family abuse, lots of it. Lots of it, so much that when I got off work after a 3-hour class or a 4-hour class, I would go home and I had to take a shower because I wasn't dirty, smelly. I felt dirty from what I heard and saw and felt. I worked at the University of Colorado Hospital for right around a dozen years. Some of the information I'm going to give you comes from a phone call I made this morning. I woke somebody up in Colorado that I know for a fact handles the reporting of deaths for a hospital today. This isn't an old job. This is what they do daily. Right now there's 90-something thousand people in America dead listed from COVID. That's sad. If it was my dad, if it was my wife, my mother-in-law, it would be horrible. But the numbers that I'm going to list off are true numbers and true situations that they won't put on network news, but they sure as hell put it on local news stations. First and foremost, let me make sure this is perfectly clear. If you go to the hospital today, at the hospital I worked at, and you had the flu, and you had heart issues, lung issues, kidney issues, and the flu pushed your body over the edge of what it could handle and you died, the flu would not be listed as a cause of death. They would put down the kidney issue, the heart issue. Whatever your body could not handle, the medical side of that would be listed as your cause of death. That's a fact. Colorado itself has just dropped its COVID-19 numbers, their reported numbers, for that fact right there. They dropped it 20%. Does that matter? No. When the COVID-19 came out, estimated death toll was between 1.25 million and 2.7 million deaths in America. To date, we're at 97,000, 90-something thousand. All of it's horrible. All of it. I sat down and wrote notes all morning long. So you see me look down, this ain't going to be a short video. It's sickening that our news stations don't report the news. They report opinion of the situations in America. Big difference. Huge difference. It's always been going on. But right now, it's absolutely rampant. I get to listen to call-in radio shows while I drive through all of these states. Keeps me awake, keeps me alert. I actually got away from listening to American network television. I focus in on other countries and what they look at us and say. Australia, New Zealand, Belgium, Frankfurt, 3 Italy stations, Stockholm, Sweden, which I have a friend out there. I get firsthand knowledge from my friend. He's not left, he's not right, he's right down the middle. We don't talk about politics, we don't talk about opinions, we talk about facts. It's sad, folks. It's sad that people are fighting between each other. It's sad that news stations... Charlie, no. It's sad that people are driving opinions left and right and not reporting the news. It's crazy. 65,000 people, 55 to 65, that's estimated, people die from the flu every year. Nobody pitches a fit, nobody loses their mind, except the people affected. But it never makes it onto TV and it never makes it into the news. Now we got COVID-19. The flu and its vaccines are between 50 and 70% effective. Those numbers are facts. COVID-19 is in the same arena field of virus, and people are looking for a cure and they're looking for a vaccine, and I get it. But there's no guarantee that that is going to be 100% effective, and we don't know what the numbers would be even after we get it. We don't know if this is going to come back every year or disappear in 6 months. We don't know. What we do know is this, and this is not what's reported on network television. The government put some protection in against foreclosures. From the paperwork I read, that protection ended on the 18th, just a few days ago. There is no more protection. And even if there is, it's not guaranteed. Second of all, those are only federally protected loans, federally backed loans, federally insured loans. There are hundreds of millions of homes that are financed, not federally protected. Federally protected, federally backed. You go to Bank of America, you get a mortgage, the FDIC is going to insure that loan. You were protected. Whether they extend the protection or not, it is what it is. Now, if you own a house and it's a rental property, and it's paid off, great. Your landlord might have some blessings, some gift to you by letting you wait to pay the loan, pay your mortgage. But if it has been sold, and let me tell you, when you get a mortgage, it's probably sold a dozen times before you ever get rid of it, before you ever pay it off. Not all of those loans are federally insured. Those people owe money. They have to pay the mortgage on that house while you're not paying your rent to them if you rent from them. I get to see this on the news. I get to see this on the local news all over the United States, and I get to hear this in person on radio stations all over America, and they will not put it on the news. They will not put it on the network news. They don't want people to know. Hundreds of millions of people are bankrupt. They are losing their homes. Homes they bought, homes they're paying for, homes that have lots of equity and homes that have none. They're losing their homes. They're foreclosing on them all the time. But they don't want America to see this. The dirty little secret of the pandemic. No. Go lay down. They're losing their homes. There's no protection against this. I drove through Maryland, went through 3 towns, and as I drove through the towns, on the side of the road were strip malls. Small ones. Some small, some big. Signs all over them. Permanently closed on businesses. A friend of mine here in Tennessee lost their restaurant. The dirty backside of this pandemic is the death. The dirty backside of this pandemic is the bankruptcy of America, the crushing of the economy. In the wake of this, you are going to see people devastated financially. Devastated. It's ugly right now. You got people burning churches, thinking that if the church stays open, it's going to be a murder zone. Don't take my word for it. Go look at the death rate. I looked it up. Less than 1% of the reported cases. And when I say reported cases, let me give you an example. How many people have been tested? How many people have died? More people we test, find out they have it, had it, or got rid of it, goes up. The death rate goes up, but not to the same extent. So as this number of the people verified that have it survive goes up, people have had it and get well goes up, this number of people who are dead, the percentage, not the number, the percentage goes down. They were expecting 3.5% death rate. And that's what they prepared for. And the more we know about it, the lower that number gets. So when you sit there and say, "Ooh, keep America closed, keep America closed," that's an opinion. And you sit there and say, "Keep America open, keep America open," that's an opinion. But the fact is this: people are going to lose their lives due to the financial crash. That's something I know personally. I have counseled people that family members have gone on murder sprees. I've seen addiction. I used to teach 10 people in a class, and when the economy crashed, I saw those numbers go to 40 and 50 and 60 in my class. The classes I taught, the counseling sessions I counseled, were astronomically overfilled. You got kids staying out of school, and you got parents that can't afford to stay home. If they don't open the schools, the parents can't go to work, depending on the age of the children. This is another crushing blow for America. It's horrible. We're in Akron, Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio, in 2 different occasions in the same month. And the radio station I listened to, the 2, were people calling in, some people just crying. The DJ shut up and listened to these people cry about the fact that they've lost their homes. They're getting foreclosed on. They've received their eviction notices. They're 100% legal. So, the myth of America, you can't lose your home because you're protected. That's a load of crap. That's a load of crap. Everybody loved that $1,200 when it came in, but here's the problem with it. It is possible to bankrupt a nation. I'm going to give you some statistics that are very true. I don't care what you have to say, these are facts. Between George Washington, the father of our country, and the first day of the last administration, our country was $10 trillion in debt. We overspent. If it was us, it means we have a credit card. Better example, you got overdraft protection. You just overdrafted your account $10 trillion, which means you had to borrow that money that you overspent. And that's what America has to do. We have to borrow money from other countries, other means, when we overspend. It devalues our dollar if we just print it. That's another means that how America gets money. So if the dollar's worth $1 and we start printing more money than that dollar's worth, the value of our dollar drops because we're just printing money. Between the first day and the last day, 8 years of the last administration, we added $11 trillion to that debt. That could have been because of what happened before the administration, but it doesn't matter. It's the reality. So we started in 2016, $22 trillion in debt. Now we just spent another couple trillion before the pandemic, and we added another couple trillion during the pandemic. These are round numbers. Don't bitch and moan that my numbers are wrong. They're round numbers. Now they're talking about $3 more trillion. I'm not even going to say they're trying to print money and borrow money to afford what we're going through right now. And once we get to the other side of it, we still owe that money. We owe it to somebody, whether it's Americans or other countries. We owe China $1 trillion. No antibiotics are manufactured in America. We gave away that ability, that right, in an agreement nearly 35 years ago in a trade agreement. I just delivered 2 million pieces of PPE equipment, masks and gloves, primarily masks. Every single box was labeled made in China. They're the disposable blue ones. I should have grabbed one so I could hold it up. I read on the box, on the outside of it, this does not protect against COVID-19 transmission. But I delivered it to the company that ordered it. So, the battle that's going on right now, if we make more in America and sell to other countries, our dollar goes up. If we charge too much to do business in America, people leave America and go do the job somewhere else. That's how the world goes around. There's nothing that's going to stop it. Not in our generation. Folks, we're in a bad spot. We're bankrupting America. And all we're doing is televising the fight over bankrupting America. Probably ain't gonna be the last video I share, but I had to get this off my chest. Unfriend me, unfollow me, it's up to you. I respect you for all of it. I respect you for all of it. But if we do not open America following the guidelines, let's make this perfectly clear. Nobody said, run out, throw your masks away, give each other a hug and a kiss, hold hands, make out in bars. That is not what anybody is saying. Keep your 6 feet apart. Wear a mask, wash your hands, sanitize the businesses. That's what's being said. Do everything you were told to do before with a lot of restrictions, a lot of safety. So when you hear people say, open up, open up, open up, nobody's saying, open up, let's kill people. But we've got to put people back to work. We have got to save this nation financially. It has to happen. If it does not happen, the amount of people that are going to be out of work because there is no job left. Millions of people don't have their jobs anymore because of the companies that are shutting down. JCPenney filed for bankruptcy. Filed for bankruptcy, don't know if it's coming back. Hey, Charlie. Hey, Tar. Come here. Hey! The jobs are gone. Those people are going to need new jobs. And they're going to take them from people that aren't in the mood to go back. Be careful, America. Be careful what you listen to. Be careful where you get your numbers. Get them yourself. I research my numbers. I don't get them from opinionated, crappy people on television giving their opinion. I get them from reading the documents, reading the reports, and I get them from there. They could be wrong, but they're damn closer than what I'm seeing on the network news. Be careful, America. We're in a bad spot. We're in a bad spot. And I get to have my opinion. My opinion is we need to get every one of these businesses up and going in a safe and guidelined open. And we're going to have to change. There's going to be times it pops up. There's going to be times where it doesn't work. And we can attack that and we can work on that. Nobody's saying it's a one-size-fits-all. There are counties here in Tennessee that have never had a reported case, never seen any case come through, small communities, and they're under the same restrictions as New York City. And the people in those towns are losing their lives, losing their homes, and losing their businesses. It's not a one-size-fits-all, and we've got to do something about it. Every single person that has a job that works for somebody that owns a business or works for a corporation that owns a business, the money that company brings in has to go somewhere down the line and pay somebody. And those people have to pay somebody else, unless they're just a rich bastard at the end with more money than they know what to do with. And they can take this hit. "24 minutes of video. I don't even know if I'll post this. Maybe I'll just keep it as a record for the future. Be careful, people. Be very careful. Good luck. Stay safe. But be very careful.